Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here with the legend John Fitch. Fitch, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Keeping warm.
Yeah, you got the winter hat rocking right now. I've got the grays popping over
Me.
here. I need a haircut. My God, why can't I look as young as John Fitch? I just don't understand it.
Get on the diet.
I'd
Wake up,
say-
Bible.
You think that's going to change my grays though?
Yeah, because there's a zinc balance, one of the supplements that I use. That's actually in the neck care guide. But one of those supplements, when you take it, when you have your zinc and your copper balanced correctly, it's supposed to help with your pigment.
Huh. Let's get it out in the open right now, John. Have you ever Just for Men? I know you dye your hair with a little purple here or there. I haven't seen any Just for Men.
No, when I was 20 years ago, I had blonde hair.
Yeah. No, I did that too.
No, I haven't had to dye anything. If I keep, the zero fade short on the sides, like it keeps the gray to a minimum. I have a little bit in the beard coming out, but I notice when I'm consistent with that supplement, there's less gray.
All right, so it's just as much zinc as I can handle, huh?
No. You have to have like a balance of your copper and zinc, because if you have an imbalance, one will strip your body of the other. And the copper, I think, is linked somehow to your pigment in your hair.
Interesting. So the copper
This
part of it.
This all could be voodoo, but you know how this supplement stuff works.
I do, because so many people
it could maybe how, like it showed in these mice that, so it's like possibly, but like I feel like I noticed, people noticed that I looked less gray.
Well, it's funny
after like a month of taking these pills.
I will never discount supplements altogether on many levels, because just yesterday.
Like my neck, I was going to be retired.
Yeah,
my whole neck care guide. I have my supplement list and all the stuff that I went through to fix my neck, so I didn't have to get surgery or retire. And I was not a big believer before. I was like, oh, you get what you need from your nutrients from your food. If you can't get it from your food, but like if you're depleted, you're not going to eat enough food to get what you need in your body.
And I was doing a big Great Reset video after your John Fitch Knows Nothing, which was a great broadcast, by the way. Check out John's broadcast from last evening. And one of the things that I was talking about was this guy, Klaus Schwab, basically coming out and openly saying, I know. Hey, isn't it?
So you got a big handlebar mustache.
Have you not seen the guy?
Do as I say.
Oh, we'll do it live. If John hasn't seen Klaus Schwab, he's going to get a taste of our new globalist overlord right here. He's more older man Bezos-esque, more Bond villain-esque. Yep. Yeah, that's Klaus. No muscles or mustache.
One of this guy. Where did this guy come from? Who is he? What office has he held? And why is he all of a sudden like the head of some one world order? Look at oh my God, that's not a comic book. That's not a comic book villain. Like they didn't purposely do this picture to like scare the shit. Come on, get out of here.
Well, he's the guy that is.
That's bad optics. Come on, who's working for these guys' publicists? Seriously,
brother,
give me a call.
I mean,
come on. corporate people, give me a call if you need help with your. I could take a better. Oh, that's just sinister.
Oh man,
every part of that photo was sinister.
Sinister isn't the word, and in it, basically, he comes out and says, part of the fourth industrial revolution.
He makes them put that in picture in their offices.
I mean, imagine being around, dude. I went deep. Like I did a watch along where he introduces Joe Biden 4 years ago on this fourth industrial revolution we're going to talk about, the automation nation I've been warning you about, the transhumanist agenda, all of it. He literally says, Schwab says, at the end of the fourth industrial revolution, you will merge your physical, your digital, and your biological identity together. So one of the things that when you were talking about supplements that I bring that up is that a guy like Ray Kurzweil, who is really the godfather of this idea of the singularity, of living forever, of transhumanism, of as our ultimate destiny, he fucking takes massive amounts of supplements. And that was reminded of me. I mean, massive. If you go back to 2004, when PBS did this special called The Worldwide Mind, it's a lot tougher to find nowadays, but you should hear what Kurzweil and others were saying then. He talked about this, and he's on video taking these supplements. And I was reminded of Kurzweil because I did that video last night, and one of the blue check marks I know that's in journalism or whatever, he DM'd me and he goes, you reminded me of Kurzweil with this, and I'll never forget the first thing about him is when I met him to interview him, he literally piled 50 fucking pills into his mouth hole. Now, if he's doing that in the middle of the day, can you imagine what a guy like that's regimen on supplementation is? And for an older guy, he's not in bad shape.
I was taking, when I was working out heavy, I had to take more supplements because I'm depleting more of what I need through all the sweating and all the working out. So when I was taking it at the height, I'm taking, anywhere between 8 and 20 pills per meal. And that's six meals a day. Mm-hmm. So it's significant amounts. But I've seen guys that had, tackle boxes that were their supplements.
Is that pretty common in pro MMA?
What's that?
Is that pretty common in pro MMA? That once you get to that level?
No, that was like a long time ago because supplements kind of faded out for a little while.
Uh-huh.
And then there's always fad things around, but yeah.
All right, before we get going, everybody, johnfitch.net. That's where you find the resistance band training. That's where you find the weight cut Bible. That's where you find everything John Fitch. So, Mr. Fitch, do you have anything coming up in person via your courses, etc.?
Oh, I'm filming some stuff with the Fanatics guys. They do the BJJ Fanatics and the MMA Fanatics and whatever, the technique series. So I'm going to do some MMA takedowns for them. That's next weekend. I'm actually going to be in Boston.
Austin or Boston?
Boston.
Boston. Wow, you're going East Coast styles, huh?
Yeah, East. So I'll be there for a couple days, and other than that, I have my free courses on Gumroad, and then I just put up a not free one. It's hand fighting,
and that's on Gumroad.
It's on Gumroad, but it's also available for members of Rockfin.
Hey, and that's what we're talking about. Both John and I are on Rockfin, and guys, thank you so much. I expect we're going to hit 8,000 followers before the end of the week. So many of you followed me over there, and some of you are really turning it over and becoming premium members. And Rockfin, the Ray token, hanging tough at about 95 cents or 90 cents to $1.05. Bitcoin hitting 15,000 then 16,000, but more leveling out in that playing field. I don't know when it's going to hit 10,000 or if it's going to hit 10,000 again. It seems like we may.
20,000?
What's that?
You mean 20,000?
No, I'm talking about on the dip down, because when we saw that initial, what was it, 20,000 plus, we did have a dip of all the way to 6 and change, right? Mm-hmm. And
well, it'll be interesting to see what the peak is at this time. Is it peaking now and it's going to dip down below 10, or are we going to see a push past 20 into like 25, 30?
It's one of those wild times, believe me. I bet you are, John. But here's the thing.
That'll be fun.
Well, for me, it's when to pull out, because if I hadn't spent any of my my Ray tokens at all this year, and I had waited, right, and I've been in it for about a year, I would have probably made, I believe I looked at it today, it was about 34K, okay? But that's because it's almost at $1, you know what I'm saying? Now, during my trip, during the demonetization, getting a new house, spending like $10,000 plus to move, there were times that I was moving that Ray token out in the thousands of dollars when it was only at 30 cents. So at the end of the day, depending on how many I keep, and I have a base level.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. I think you play. You have, how much faith do you have in it that it's gonna go up, and keep a percentage off to the side? You can almost say it's an earnings, and view it like any other earnings, and say put 20% aside.
See, right? That's what I've done,
and just leave 20% in there and see what happens with it, and then take the rest as you need it. I would even maybe invest some of that you take out.
Well, I take out
more tangible, like gold or some other stock.
Well, what I've turned it into,
diversify, bitches.
Well, instead of that, I've turned it into Ether, because Ether has moved pretty congruently with Bitcoin, right? We've seen that hit almost $500, which is the peak since it hit 11 and then dipped down to 2 and change, and even below 2 at times, I think. And it's hung pretty tough since I started trading Ether over the summer, right? When I was on these trips and I was kind of trying to manage, I was trying to manage watching Ether and watching the Ray token and maybe investing and turning some of it into.
I've lost, back when I was actively like trading, I've lost a significant amount of money because I was like on a trip and I was away from a computer for like 2 days.
Well, it's all here. I do everything on this.
No.
And what's really great about the Ray token, as I promote Rockfin here, and why not, is that I can literally turn those Ray tokens into money into my bank account in an hour and a half now if I want, or less. Maybe even an hour, depending. Like, it's at the point now. Coinbase went down today, and that's another reason I'm talking about this, because Coinbase is the main wallet. But it takes, depending on my gas limit, if I wanted to say take $1,000 and turn it from Ray to Ether, it takes about maybe 15, 20 minutes to churn out. Then I take my little magic box, guys. I take my dicka-dicka-doo. I've got my Coinbase account on the computer. I bring up the QR code. It scans the QR code. It moves it into that. And then I have the option of selling it. So then I have to sell it. There's a little bit more fees. That takes 5, 10 more minutes. Yep. And then that's it. And then I have the choice after it's in cash to either withdraw it in 1 to 3 business days for no fee, or I could put it directly into my bank account via my credit card. So this is a very tangible way.
I can sell it even faster and get it available on PayPal.
And you saw? Did you subscribe to that? I know they just opened that up.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I can sell a Bitcoin and move it into my PayPal like pretty much instantly.
But have you? So I can do that too. But I'm saying, have you integrated it into your PayPal wallet now? The new offering?
I haven't.
Because that's the new big thing. And before we get further, I do want to remind everybody, thegruelingtruth.com is where you can find this audio podcast. They are demonetized on YouTube as well. The censorship is getting crazy, but they're also on Rockfin. And hopefully I gave people a window into how it works. And here's the thing. Look, you subscribe to Fitch, you get my stuff. You subscribe to me, you get Fitch's stuff. And then on top of it, if you watch our premium content over there, that also makes us money. It's a very
a lot of good stuff.
It's merit-based. Can you imagine that? A merit-based economy, John? An algorithm that actually promotes content instead of suppressing it. I mean, goodness gracious. I'm a big fan of Rockfin. So we just talked about a lot of stuff. We've got the GoFundMe, a lot of fights. What fights did you see this weekend?
I see this weekend. I saw what was the main fight, the big fight.
Felder Dos Anjos. You watched the Felder Dos Anjos fight.
I saw the Felder Dos Anjos. I saw most of that. A few of the fights leading up to that.
Yeah. So I caught that, and what I'm really loving about MMA,
and then there's some fights I saw at the MAGA event.
We could play that video. Then again, we might get. That might be too violent content. But then again, did you get to watch that first minute before even the other cut minute of that guy pushing the one guy? Because there's more. It seemed
like that guy seemed like he came out of nowhere. There was like skirmishes and there was stuff going on. So
there's a minute that even like, all right, first the one that went mega viral.
That guy came in high because he came out of left field and bumped into the guy with the megaphone. And
well, the thing is, he didn't come in high. He was part of that crowd that a minute before that were peacefully walking. And then all of a sudden, there is a huge thing. And the cameraman actually turns around and goes to that scuffle. And then you're watching a minute after. In fact, we should bring it up. Because that's the fake news. You want to see as much content.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is, regardless, like you're talking about people who are surrounded by a mob, and we've seen plenty of videos of these mobs attacking people, and a lot of these mobs look like they're throwing water and spitting, and I mean that's gonna not be a comfortable situation to be in.
No, it's not
okay. It's not okay to do that to other people. It's just not.
And I mean, all right, so this one got a decent amount of views too. Okay, but this is the 2-minute, 20-second version. And the Daily Caller putting it out, and as you can see right here, out of the gates, these guys are walking, okay? And you don't even see these guys.
Well, hey, man, the flag is violence.
Well, we saw that video too, where the guy tries to take the flag and gets his comeuppance by crashing his car out of his own TDS syndrome.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Didn't find out.
Right. So that woman just assaults that.
Grown children.
This is that video. This is the first minute you missed. So that woman.
No, I've seen this. I've seen this too. But like the guy in the orange shirt, like he's not around yet.
No,
He's
that's my point.
Somewhere else.
Is that what you see here is in the back.
Yeah, the situation is like people are being harassed.
Right there. That's where we start seeing real violence. Is that people are getting thrown in the street before we even get there, and it's this guy here who's just trying to get through. It's only when you turn this corner.
Well, you see from this other corner over here is where the guy comes from.
Yeah. Well, again, here's the camera guy, and this is him.
The bullhorn guy gets run into by the guy coming from off to the side.
But the question is,
he was coming from off.
Like he may have been on that side, but the camera guy wasn't taping the other side.
Like he was down that street. And walked into what was going on.
Maybe he did.
I think he had a little, hero syndrome going on there. Because he didn't need to walk into that guy with the megaphone. That wasn't an accident. But I mean, at the same time,
let's pause it.
You're surrounding people, attacking people. I'm not justifying anybody. I think they're all retards.
Well,
but like you're out there yelling, spitting, cussing at people.
Here's my question. I've watched this a few times now. I'm not sure that he was on that corner. So let me explain what I mean. If we're gonna go,
because I couldn't find his outfit.
No, I couldn't find his jacket either. So back here is where the chaos is. We're gonna slow-mo it. See if we can find him. I can't see him anywhere in this chaos at all. But then when you see the guy running back and people are chasing him, you get some look at the corner, right? And right here at the corner, I don't know where he's popping out of because there's still nobody there. I'm wondering if he's circled around.
He garbage cans. There's some garbage cans over there, maybe.
Well, I guess, but again, you start looking, and even here at this shot, you got a pretty good look at the corner because I watched it a couple times, and he's still not there. So my question is, was he just behind that whole crew? Because he seems to be like a MAGA guy.
Around.
But again, right here, I still don't see him.
You're saying.
It's not. Yeah, it's not until you get a front shot here, right? And then it goes back and pans back to the corner, and he comes over. And again,
but you don't see him off to the left either, so I wouldn't know where you would have come
exactly. And by this time, the whole crew is running in. Like you're going to see this guy right here attacking this guy for no reason, and that's when he comes in. It's when these two guys right here, and you would think to yourself, if he was just watching it, why would he go after the guy with the megaphone and not the guy that attacks the megaphone? So I don't know. I think he must have been somehow involved, but I don't know. Bottom line is, you don't turn your back after being a tough guy, or you end up like this.
You don't.
You turn your back like that, it's over. What are you doing, man?
You don't play at fighting.
No.
It's either on or you're gone.
I mean, talk about that.
On, you're gone. You're not hanging around talking, having drinks, or you're not. It's like you're throwing down right now and hurting people as much as possible, or you're out. Bye.
And again, there's a lot of the guy's wallet's on the ground. I mean, that's one of those things where
they robbed him and then people start stomping on him. That's
yeah. It's a rough watch, man. This whole thing is rough. Obviously, we don't like violence.
And it's and you have the argument of escalation too. I mean, because he was pushing somebody, and then people started throwing punches at him first. He was assaulted with fists first.
I'm with you in the fact that he was never playing a peacemaker. It seemed like, he was ready to go. He put on his freak show, and then he tried to tough guy out, and that happened. And I'm not condoning what the other guy did. I mean, that sucker punch. First of all,
he did a bunch of you don't want to do it. You don't whatever.
Well, it's one of those things where you puff up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you puff up and you make threats, and then why?
Just why turn your back?
Go away. Why be there?
Oh, All right, well, back to MMA fighting. There are fights on all the time now during this COVID 1984. I actually missed Dana White's Contender Series this week.
Hard to keep up.
What's that? It is hard to
keep up.
The XFC is back, and they're on NBC Sports now that the PFL has gone to ESPN, and Miletich actually called those fights. There
needs to be an MMA fight alert app.
Yes.
It just tells you when fights are coming up.
Well, here's the thing. We got an awesome banger coming, Bellator, on Thursday also. And you didn't catch Bellator at all on Thursday? Again?
I might have.
Fitch, I keep telling you got to catch it, man. It's on early.
Home.
It was Pitbull versus Cavello. Finally.
No. I had trouble finding it because I thought it was going to be on YouTube, and then...
So the prelims are now on YouTube.
Was it early? Is it early? Was it early again?
Yeah, super early.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I mean, the main cards on those...
I thought I was watching it. I went to YouTube because I thought it was on free on YouTube. I started watching fights.
Well,
and they were like old fights. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I watched like 2 fights maybe.
Well, they've been re-popping them on there, the Bellator ones. And there's a lot of good Bellator stuff on there.
Wild turkey.
But that just shows you that Viacom sucks and nobody knows about CBS Sports Network. And you're doing probably better numbers on the prelims via YouTube at the end of the day than you are on your main card. And you have a star like Patricky Pitbull going in there and fucking murking a dude. I mean, he murked Cavello. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet. And then you know what they do? They put it on fucking YouTube anyway. They put it on afterwards. But instead of the Bellator page, they put it on the shitty CBS Sports page that nobody's on there. Listen, guys. I'm not that smart. I'm not. But
I don't know what they're doing, man.
Bellator has the potential to one day and one day rapidly, especially now without the crowd illusions, right? To rival the UFC if it were marketed correctly. Period. I believe that, man. Listen, they've always tried to ride that like more entertainment value.
Restraints on the market. It has nothing to do with how good they are at promoting. There's restraints in the market that will never allow them to.
Dude, I don't know, man. Viacom, I mean, that's as gangster as it gets. You just don't believe it, huh? They can't take on Zuffa. It's Viacom, man.
No, you'd have to kill the belt. And
I don't think so, man. I think that you find. First of all, Coker was recently talking about Fedor fighting again. Hardcores like you and I and whatever, that's still going to bring people. These fights, again, Darren Caldwell, AJ McKee, free. I mean, that's a top-level fight. I'm very excited about that. They got Benson Henderson on the card as well versus Jason Jackson, which is a tough fight. Benson needs to get a finish, in my opinion. He can't just ride out a 3.
Hope their hair doesn't get tangled.
Is that what you're hoping for? I'll bet you.
Yeah.
I'll bet you. Well, Jason
Millie
Jackson
versus Vanilli.
Have you ever rolled with Bendo?
Who's that?
Have you ever rolled with Bendo?
I haven't.
No, never. Yeah, I mean, because he took a couple fights at 170.
That's some grappling. He's good.
Yeah, I've always liked him.
Teasing their hair.
But Bellator, get your act together. And then we got the pay-per-view coming up. But before we talk about the pay-per-view, let's talk Felder Dos Anjos.
Yep.
Paul Felder's a tough motherfucker. He talked about it afterwards, but he looked sickly at the weigh-ins, bro. He looked sickly. And he said that, I think it was 2 days before or 3 days before, he was 181. Okay? For a 155 fight.
Yeah, it's not real smart. But
I mean
it's kind of a no-lose situation because he's taking on short notice. He's a hero. If he wins, he's a double hero.
I mean, you know what? He's a company man anyway. You could tell he didn't really want to retire in the first place. He was just so heartbroken, again, with another loss, trying to climb that 155 ladder. But at the same time, I think he sees what everybody else sees is there's no Khabib. There's no Kebabins in there anymore.
Wait a minute.
I mean, tasty payday for a company man if he can get into some kind of a tournament or even with that performance against Dos Anjos, tough motherfucker, man. I mean, it's not like Dos Anjos ran through him. He grinded him it was
Tough fight.
It proves he's a top, probably 5-10 guy, somewhere probably in the middle, maybe 7 or 8. And if they had a tournament, he would be part of it. You talked about that on John Fitch Knows Nothing last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to see that tournament? You think the UFC is going to do it?
I would be cool. I mean, I'm a big fan of tournaments. Do it all in one night.
Oh, you want to do it all in one night? You want to go old school?
All one night in the island, man. On Yas Island. Do it, bro. Come on. It's COVID. They're going to do 6 more weeks of this shit. Do it.
6 more weeks. Dude, bro. This ain't
Dana.
ending in 6 weeks. I hate to tell you, man.
6 years.
Bro, I got
6 decades until the next great revolution.
Well, I'll tell you, listen, we don't want to talk about anything like that on this channel. We don't call for violence. We're not harmful content, YouTube. No. We're just a loving mixed martial arts show with a little bit of flavor. And I'm glad you talked about that because lockdowns, get this. So, John, as you know,
I just heard a thing that they're going to purple or whatever. This stupid color system. It's so stupid. Why? It makes no stupid. Why put these colors on? Is it just
because they don't have original ideas?
Use like the rainbow?
John. They don't have original ideas. So like they instilled the fear in us during the Cold War. We're at code blue or code red, and we got it ingrained there.
No, they got 50 colors, and then we had the terror alert color
code orange. And
now orange is like, oh, we get to sit inside a restaurant.
So,
we got these stupid, and they're going to say something about purple, and I got excited because I was like, yeah, California purple, what? And no, yeah, they're saying no indoor, the gyms are closed, like, it's wild.
Well, New York went back to full authoritarian. We were talking about that. Here's the thing: in about half an hour, the governor here in Iowa is supposed to make some announcements. Now, let me tell you why that's important and how we're going to integrate this into the main card, which, look, I think Figueroa's great. Perez is a good fight. They're exciting. We all know 135ers usually don't turn the needle, especially out with promotion of their character for pay-per-view. The idea that this Shevchenko's a bigger name to me, and how many people are paying to see Valentina globally, I'm not sure. Maybe they got a good European market. I don't know. Probably not going to do great pay-per-view numbers. Why not get Caged Aggression behind me, which is also rivaling the UFC on the same night, and maybe it'll be done a little earlier. I think it ended around 11 last time. Double night, $24.99 each night, 20 fights, can't beat it. And guess what? As you know, John,
like old school.
I have been angling to be the poor man's Joe Rogan commentator for some time now. In fact,
big break.
Fight TV, what are you waiting for? Your next Ryzen event, me and Fitch can do it. We can do it big time just like this. You give us the broadcast equipment, we can call a fight. That last one was horrendous, whoever you had to do it. But so, I get, after some drinks this weekend, I get a call, and it's like, hey, how would you feel about coming in as a third guy with Militich and Jeffrey Wilson of the Conspiracy Farm and doing some color commentating, coming and interviewing the fighters at the weigh-ins on Thursday? And obviously I'm like, you betcha, man. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Can't wait. Very excited about it. I love the sport of MMA. I want to take the production to the next level, the streaming. Let's go. Woo! So I go to the venue today to meet one of the producers, the guys that's setting it up, right? And like everything's locked up and fucking, we're touring through where we can. And then finally he goes into the office. And I don't even step into the office because I don't want to put a mask on. No thanks. I'd rather just stand outside and wait. And I hear this motherfucker basically telling him it isn't happening. He's like, just like basically telling him, like he went in there with a question about the internet, I think, and the Wi-Fi or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I got to be honest with you. I really don't think these events are happening on Friday and Saturday. I think they're going to pull the plug. And he's happy about it. Like you hear the way he's talking about it. He doesn't want to work. He is now sitting in an office doing almost nothing, getting paid the same amount of money if he was doing something.
He's doing something.
He loves it. He's like, yeah, we got the highest infection rate in the nation, and the governor's going on TV at 6, and we think there's going to be more restrictions, and we think we're pulling the plug. And fucking I'm sitting there listening to this. And I'm like, first of all, I would have been fucking upset if they pulled the plug and I was just going to the event on Friday and Saturday.
What about the fighters trying to get money?
Thank you. And guys, I want to say this.
Sponsors put money.
Everybody that's put money into it. It's like 40 grand. You know, we're talking
Coaches,
about
people training.
We're talking about 40 fighters, 2 nights of fights. They've already done the social distancing thing, so I think they can only get like a 1,500 person house. You know what I mean? A little over 1,000. You know, they made everybody wear masks as they walked up and got beers. They didn't have people coming to them other than in the front row to order anything, and even that was few and far between. So, I mean, first of all, you know, these are Iowa fighters. These are real deal guys. I was impressed with the level of MMA. I went there. You know what, John? I was so impressed that we're going to show one of the fights. I was meaning to do this, I think, on one of the other broadcasts, but didn't. Where are we going? Biden. Come on. What's going on here? Are you kidding me? Okay. No? Why? What the? Why does Twitter suck all of a sudden? Again.
They hack.
No, man. Like usually you could just go into your pictures here, like your media. I guess I'll just do it this way. On the other one, and so I don't have to go through all my links and stuff like this, and just go to the videos I posted because I, taped this fight right here. And this guy right here, I don't want to ruin too much of it, but he trains with John Jones. I sat next to him the first night of fights. He's the taller gentleman, the darker gentleman. He's out of Jackson Wink, and I'm not sure what's up with the other guy. But we get a little fun banger here for a minute. You know, you got pretty good level of competition. You got hungry guys. You're not getting in there like old slob guys.
Obviously, this guy's a kickboxer.
You know.
Coming out of that
we got the Superman
fights.
What's that?
No strippers fighting?
No strippers fight. I told you about. Wait, you weren't there. You know that was a Bellator event, right?
Oh no, that was a thing I went to.
Oh.
The amateur event. Strippers were fighting. No training at all.
Well, the last time that I did the Mohegan Sun, it was the first day of a second 2-day event. We were up in the top, and it happened that the first fight were these 2 girls, and one of them was a porn star. And her porn star boyfriend was up there with her parents, and you could tell her parents didn't like the porn star boyfriend. And we're really hoping that their daughter was going to win, and instead she just got the piss pounded out of her. And we were just sitting there listening to these poor parents, get devastated. Here comes the banger, guys. Don't blink. Here we go.
Oh! That hurt him. Big spinning back fist. That's it. Damn.
See, I'm already ready to call the fights. So don't take this away from me, Iowa and Caged Aggression. And guys, if you're in the Iowa area and this does go on, what are you waiting for? This could literally be the last sporting event you get an opportunity to go to because they're not booked until March, okay? And we know that you think it's 6 weeks of lockdowns, but if Joe Biden gets in, that's not till mid-January. All right? Do you think it starts then? And you think it's just going to be 6 weeks? I mean, seriously. What do you think, John?
They're going track and trace. They're going to social credit score. They're going to send us money.
What's your stance on that? Like, right now,
they're sending my money they already took from me.
That's true, but I am such a. I don't want anything. I haven't taken any stimulus. I
want them to take less of my stuff.
I agree, a whole lot less. But they want to take more, John.
Because they're taking a lot away from me and giving me back a little,
mm-hmm.
and then some of what they took from me, they're giving to other people who didn't work as hard.
If they're even giving it to them at all, right? I mean, I look at it this way. At this point, the financial system is such a joke. We already know we're in literally such trillions of debt that they're selling you on a great reset. They're selling you on not owning anything. They're selling you on a social credit score. So a UBI is kind of just a soft entrance of that as automation takes place. And since they've already got you worked into a digital currency system, is it really even tax money at this point? Or is it just an algorithm at the end of the day that keeps the predator class entrenched in wealth and nobody even able to reach a real middle class or upper middle class level without the mobility allowed by a good social credit score minion of the predator class?
We gotta join that predator class.
Yeah, are you joining up? You're going Illuminati on me?
Yeah, join up the predator class.
Yeah, you're going over to some kind of Rothschild mansion party.
Side.
Eyes wide shut, John.
See if Mr. Rothschild. Is there a young Miss 20-year-old Rothschild?
There's plenty of them.
25.
I don't know if this is true, and I'm going to check it right now. We'll do it live. But somebody said that our good friend here, Klaus Schwab.
This guy, this is just comical. The picture makes me just laugh. It's a real person, and they put that on their advertisement, whatever, for him.
So apparently, someone tried to tell me that Klaus Schwab was a Rothschild. Klaus Schwab's mother was a Rothschild.
Oh man,
let's see if
sense
that's true.
There. 100 trillionaire.
No, I don't want professional life. I don't want education. Let's see if we can find mother. Why isn't there his mother on here? That's weird. I see spouses and children.
He was spawned. You're not allowed to know who his mother was. Dun, dun, dun.
That is kind of odd that it's not on his Wikipedia page, right?
It's probably not an accident, bro.
I wonder. What did I do? I typed in his mother.
He's a lizard. He's wearing guy's skin.
Is that where we're at? We're at lizard people.
Might be bug people.
Oh, it is. Oh no. Yes, she is a Rothschild apparently. Huh. So weird.
When are we supposed to Yeah, these conspiracy theories, man.
I mean, is that a theory that I looked it up online?
I know that this is one of the most wealthy, powerful families ever, and one of their descendants is just so happens to be taking position of the most powerful position you could think of.
Oh,
it's like a Sith Lord. He's kind of like a Sith Lord.
It's kind of like a Sith Lord.
His little sash.
Oh, so let's call. So let's make some calls. Who you got? You got McKee, or you got Caldwell?
I think McKee.
I think McKee too. I like Darian, but
Darian's really tough, but McKee is on the way up, and he's only getting better.
And his father is Antonio, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so Antonio, dude.
Experience.
Every time I've ran into him, and I ran into him quite a few times over at the Mohegan Sun because his son was fighting, he is in incredible shape for his age. My God. And a lot of people don't know him because he didn't fight in the UFC, but in other organizations, he cleaned house.
Yeah, he is tough, man.
Who you got? You got Figueroa or Perez?
Figueroa.
I think so, too.
Wait a minute. Is Perez... Is that Turbo? Is that our Perez?
Alex Perez?
No. Never mind.
Nope, not him. He's tough, dude. He's definitely going to be an interesting fight. He's young. He's coming up.
Is this a title fight?
Yes, there's 2 title fights. They got this in Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. I think Jennifer Maia's tough. A
belt in the picture.
I mean, I'd love to see an upset on Valentina, but I don't see it coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's tough.
And then you have Mike Perry versus Tim Means. I can't believe they're letting Perry fight after punching that old man in the face in the bar. Not that I'm not a Mike Perry fan.
They don't care, man. They want views, and if he's got a buzz around him, there's a buzz around him. Doesn't matter if he saved a small child or punched an old man.
Caitlin Shakugan versus Cynthia Cavale. Chikugan got murdered in her last fight, but she looked great.
Yeah, was that the body shot from hell?
Yes. She took that beating, and then that was the ender. This is actually an interesting fight. I want to see how she recoups if they put her on the super sauce.
She's been trying to AK some, so.
Hua versus Craig. Is this Mauricio's last fight, and can he knock out Paul Craig, who's kind of chinny?
Oh, man. I don't know. I like pulling for the old guys, but Craig's been doing pretty well lately, hasn't he?
He got chin lined in fucking a minute and a half or less against some prospect he took on in a short minute fight. Hold on, let's look it up. I forget who did it. Paul Craig MMA. It was gross. I mean, it was. Let's see. And I like Paul Craig too, because he is a pretty decent fighter. So they must have got him another one in with. Wait, what's going on? He fought Hua already?
Yeah, I thought he fought him a while ago. I thought he lost to.
I'm not thinking of Paul Craig then, who got the chin line, because it's telling me he hasn't fought. He fought in July and he won with a triangle choke. But I want to say that, who was it I'm thinking that got KO'd like that?
When did he fight Hua?
No, it was Mearshart. It was Mearshart. They look similar with that damn beard. It was Gerald Mearshart. So good. No, I like that fight. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm interested in that. We got anything good on the prelims or early prelims? I like Moreno Royal. That's actually a good scrap. I think that's a run back fight. The other Shevchenko's fighting on the undercard makes sense. I like Dalby. Let's see if any early prelims press my buttons. Oh, they got Alan Jouban fighting. They got him in the commentary booth, but they got him fighting a guy that has no face. Come on, guys, if we can get black and white pictures of Luis Koske, we can't get something of Sasha Palatinikov.
I mean, come on, guys. iPhone 12 just came out, didn't it?
What's that?
iPhone 12 did it just come out?
I don't know.
Fighters, guys, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. Phone's
all right.
Write-off. Your phone bill's write-off.
You're writing it all off?
You got to.
Fitch, I got the Union of the Unwanted in about 15 minutes. I'm trying to catch some, maybe a meal. I'm not sure. I'd like to eat today.
And make the kids be active, get off their devices.
Oh, God. You can't believe me. It's the toughest. But like I said, I just signed the kids up for gymnastics. We hope that actually happens. Supposed to start in December. But again, with all the lockdowns, and we'll see if Whitmer is about to make this, not Whitmer. Why did I call her Whitmer? The governor of Iowa. She's about to make announcements. And actually, the kids want me to go on one of their conference calls for the schools, because they're about to make the decision whether they're about to go full remote learning instead of what they've been doing.
The kids have already decided that when we come back from Christmas break, they'll be in the house still. Because they don't want to, we read the protocols for what they got to go through to be at school. There's only 15 kids allowed in the class. And they can't play with each other at recess. They don't get to sit next to each other. There's dividers on. They don't wear a mask all day. It's like, they're like, no, we'll stay at home because at least at recess we can play with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And why are you psychologically torturing children with no scientific basis whatsoever? It's making me sick. JohnFitch.net is the website. He's in Boston when? Next weekend or this weekend?
Next weekend.
It's not so it's not this coming. It's the weekend after.
Yeah, the one coming up this.
Oh, it is coming up this weekend. So check him out there if you're in the Boston
area. Today's a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll leave on Friday.
I know everything rolls into another one. Audio on thegruelingtruth.com. After the fact, we're both on Rockfin. Make the goddamn free account right now. I'm live 11 a.m. exclusively Monday through Friday, only on Rockfin.
And Rockfin.
That's where I'll be if they take us off this program, right? If
I got more technique videos going up Rockfin and more other videos, entertainment videos, fun videos.
All right, Fitch, we'll see you next week. Have a good weekend, my man.
Yep. Check you later, guys.